Hello and welcome to Springboard, your virtual university. My name is Ocran, welcoming you to Ghana's foremost developmental program and that place where the greatest minds in the world converge. Springboard is brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation and proudly sponsored by the Enterprise Group and the Ghana Growth Program, which is a collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and the Springboard Roadshow Foundation, aimed at pointing young people to decent and fulfilling work in agriculture, agribusiness, and ATVET. This program is supported by our media partners, the Multimedia Group, and our friends at Graphic. Talking about agribusiness, in our quest to find a crop or something to trigger our national developmental program, we've looked at cocoa, we've looked at timber, we've looked here and there and trusted that we have done something. But is it possible that there is a silent crop or product that we have not focused on? This month of September is celebrated across the world as World Bamboo Day, with a focus on the 18th of September. So here's the big question. How big is bamboo? Is it possible that it could trigger our developmental growth in a way we have not seen before? Could it create jobs? Could it create a new phase of our exports? I'm reading in front of me a statistic that says that the global bamboo market is projected to grow from 75 billion US dollars. Those numbers are always nice to hear. In 2023, to guess what? 123 billion by 2032. Definitely something that we should be interested in as a country. But are there prospects here in Ghana? Helping me to unpack this subject is somebody who lives, sleeps, and eats bamboo. No, not eats. The bamboo is food, isn't it?
Yes, it's food.
I know it's food as well.
Yes.
So Vincent Awotwe-Pratt is the Director of Technical Operations at Advocates for Biodiversity Conservation. He loves this subject and is here to help us unpack it. Vincent, welcome to Springboard.
Thank you very much, Alvin.
You should have come in bamboo clothes. We had bamboo clothes at our last Ghana Grows exhibition. For young people created bamboo clothes. Can you imagine?
Yes.
In one of the cities.
Yes.
You should have come in bamboo clothes.
Yes.
I'll get you a bamboo shirt one of these days.
Yes. It will be a pleasure to put it on.
Yes.
Actually, my glasses is bamboo. The frame is made up of bamboo.
You should have worn it to celebrate World Bamboo.
It broke before I got here.
Oh, what a shame.
Yes.
How important is bamboo as a conversation in the whole economic developmental construct?
About 10 years ago, Ghana was on a path to look for alternatives to supplement our wood industry. And we knew that in the near future, we're going to have problems with timber. So we're looking for alternatives. And we found bamboo, a silent giant hidden somewhere that promises to support our wood industry. Not just that, but also create economic opportunities, especially for the youth, in the making of crafts, in the making of certain bits and pieces we use at home, like chopping boards, toothpick, and the rest. We realized that that was a very good or viable opportunity for us to look at, because bamboo is abundant. Obviously, we treat it as a poor man's timber, but it has the potential to do a lot of the things that wood can do. In recent time, we've seen bamboo being used as toilet roll, which is a very new thing that is coming to Ghana. We've had two paper factories in Ghana that are changing from using the normal paper made from wood to the bamboo fibers, which are good for toilet roll and better. So bamboo is a very good alternative that particularly can support our local economic development and is a viable one for the youth and the women in our communities.
I'll come to sustainability and why we should be going even more into that. But let's go on to the global stage. Which economies are doing a big time that we can learn from when it comes to bamboo?
Obviously, it's China, because they have the largest plantations in the world. They are natural plantations. I remember some time ago, we flew over 200 kilometers, like from the coast of Ghana to the north, and it was full of bamboo forests. And it was just contiguous, no human beings, no settlement. So they are tapping into that economy. The second is Netherlands. Netherlands imports a lot of bamboo from China and processes it into products like furniture, paper, and all of that. And the EU in general. The recent statistics we have indicates that the EU is even looking for opportunity to plant bamboo in the European Union. Well, of course, the weather doesn't allow it, but they are looking at areas like Spain that has a semi-tropical conditions to plant that. And in Ghana, the opportunity for us will be that we have a lot of deforestation going on, about 3% per annum. So there's an opportunity for us to also grow. And the world stage is looking at bamboo as the next big green thing to happen to the world.
In terms of gestation period, you mentioned that it grows naturally. And one would assume that while it's great to have a natural plantation, the real deal is to plant it. Can it be planted as trees, and can they be deliberately planted and grown to get plantations of them?
Yes, it can be done anywhere. There are species that adapt to all the climates that we have. You can plant it as a plantation that is only bamboo in an area. You can also plant it as an agroforest combined with other crops and other legumes in areas. In Somenya, we are planting with some 350 farmers, and they are planting legumes like beans, like ginger. They are also planting other crops, herbs, that's combined with the bamboo.
When you mentioned so many, I thought you say mangoes. What kind of soil, what kind of environment? Because I tended growing up to assume that bamboos should do well in marshy, waterlogged areas. Is that a right assumption?
It's because the common ones we know, which is Bambusa vulgaris, which is the common one, tend to grow well in the marshy areas. And what we found out is that people are not able to do a lot of agriculture in these areas. So when the bamboo pops up, they just leave it there to grow. That's why it looks like it's well suited for the marshy areas. But bamboo can be grown everywhere, from the north to the south. There's a bamboo species that is suited for these places.
Let's talk about products. You mentioned a couple of them: toothpicks, toilet paper, and so on. I know that in some jurisdictions they do a lot of construction with bamboos. Yeah. So help us to appreciate the sheer breadth of products that can be made out of bamboos, just so we get the sense of the connection to our economy.
Okay. So from construction to the household to school education and everything, bamboo plays a role. In construction, we've seen bamboo being used to construct 5-story buildings, 2-story buildings, classrooms. In India, it's very common for you to see classrooms because bamboo can grow up to about 18 meters. Some are taller than that. So you can get them in poles, you can get them in slabs, you can get them in sleighs. In recent time, when you go to Europe, you get them as plyboard, what we call plyboard, and then they are used for all sorts of things. The shipping containers that come from abroad, their floors are made of bamboo. It's because it's very strong, it doesn't bend easily, it's very flat and can be kept in that state for a long time. When you come to the household, bamboo plays a lot of roles in the household because the last one would be that it ends up in the fire being used as firewood. But before it gets there, it is used in a number of ways: skewers, chopping boards, seats. We have a very nice bamboo resting seats for the old men in the villages we work with, and you see them constructed with bamboo. We have wardrobes, we have everything you can do with wood, you can also do
everything you said
bamboo.
I can relate to, but the one that was a struggle for me the first time I saw it was the bamboo story building. My impression about bamboo was that nice wood, but relatively fragile. That was my impression until I discovered that it could be actually ply, as thick as having plywood from it. It must be a different species from the one we are used to, the normal one that we see here in Ghana.
Yes. So bamboo, just like a wood species, is suited for different uses. The ones that have high tension, they can stand the tension, are used for the story buildings. There are ones that are structurally strong that can be used as rebar. Even though we don't recommend it for story buildings, mixing it with concrete, but they are very strong. There are some that have very long fibers, better than wood in the production of pulp or paper or toilet roll and a lot.
it's a new area for all of us.
Yes.
Let's go into the sustainability conversation. Why is it so important that we get this right in terms of paying attention to bamboo vis-a-vis relying on timber? Why is this such a big deal?
Two ways for Ghana. The first way is that we need to solve our deforestation problem. A lot of the problems we see today is as a result of the effect of climate change. But science makes us understand that if we are able to solve the issue of not removing our forest, we can better stand the effects of climate change, especially for areas where we grow our cocoa. You know the recent issues we have with cocoa. Climate change is hard on cocoa because we are losing our forest. Now, if we leave our forest and return to bamboo, which can equally play the role of the forest, then we can have a substitute for that. Bamboo can help us restore our forest, the degraded areas, and then it will help us keep the microclimate that is good for production like cocoa.
Does it grow very fast?
Yes. You can start harvesting bamboo in 3 years. Very good bamboo. And surprisingly, bamboo can increase in length 3 feet a day. Yes, 3 feet a day.
At some stage?
Yes.
Wow, this is new.
Yes,
So,
3 feet a day.
so you're looking at the areas that have been cut down. The trees have been cut down, being replaced by bamboo.
Bamboo, fast-growing.
Fast-growing
Galamsey areas, bamboo will play two roles. Covering the soil so that it doesn't face directly the sun, and also remediating the soil. It can pull the chemicals in the soil into it and store it. It won't go anywhere. It will store in the columns of the bamboo. So it will remediate the soil, and after some few years, the soil will be ready for agriculture again. So it's a very good potential for us.
Which areas in Ghana have we made progress, if any, in the growing of bamboo?
Currently, there are few places where bamboo has been grown on plantation levels. We have very few companies that have done it, but there's an opportunity for us, individuals, communities, companies, to take upon that challenge. When we say tree growing or tree planting, people think about Odum, they think about Wawa, but bamboo is fast growing. You can really appreciate within a very short time when you plant bamboo. Whilst these wood species will take up to like 10 years for you to see them cover, their canopies cover, bamboo can do that within 3 years.
Is it economically viable?
Yes, it's very, very, very much viable. It's viable because, you know, for trees or for wood, you have a harvesting cycle after 10 years, like teak after 10 years. Bamboo is 3 years. So within 3 years, you can start harvesting it and then making money out of it.
Educate me on this. When you cut the long bamboo tree, does it grow again?
Yes. So in a year, it can regenerate, or the young ones that come, you can have 12 in a year. So which means that per column, which is the group that you find, you can take 12 out every year, and then it will be replaced by 12. So the more you cut, the more it comes. It just needs to be managed sustainably. In Ghana, what you see people do is they clear cut it totally, but that is not sustainable. You need to leave some of the adults to nurture the young ones coming so that they can support them and then they can grow. So you can take 12 out and you get 12 every year.
This is Springboard, your virtual university, exploring the subject of bamboo, something that I have never taking time to pay attention to, but September is World Bamboo Day. And so within the construct or within the framework of exploring untapped resources and untapped opportunities, we thought that Vincent Awotwe-Pratt could help us understand how much we are missing in that space in terms of bamboo as an opportunity for economic development. And Vincent says within 3 years, you can start harvesting. And the most important thing he's telling me is that after you grow the plant, you can harvest and it will regenerate itself. And you can keep harvesting every single year. If it is this good, why haven't you taken advantage?
It's the case because we still have some wood resources available, even though they are depleting at a very fast rate. The rate of us removing it is not the same as the rate replacing it. In some cases, it is not done at all. So it's time for us to look at alternatives. Otherwise, the role that Ghana plays in the global market, we're going to lose it. But bamboo can help us keep our position on the world market, that we produce wood and then we also produce bamboo to supplement the wood capacity that we have.
Let me read something I discovered in preparing for this show that makes it an emergency issue rather than just a luxury or a luxurious option to consider. So global wood demand or global demand for wood products is projected to grow by 90% in 2050 compared to 2010. But to make that worse, by that time, humanity will have consumed or will consume about 25% of the annual biomass produced by plants on the earth. Literally almost sounding like the earth is about to become a desert. Now, this level of consumption risks biosphere and threatens wildlife. So to maintain planetary health, consumption of plant biomass should not exceed 10% annually. And yet, we are talking 25% of the annual biomass being consumed. And this is where the advocates like you are saying, use sustainable use of non-wood alternatives is a better way to respond to the growing effects of climate change.
Yeah.
From where you sit as not just somebody in the space, but as an advocate, how do you intend to get business, governments, and every stakeholder in this to understand that we have no choice but to replenish the depleting forests?
So that's where World Bamboo Day becomes very important. We see it as a platform for us to tell the world that it's an emergency and then we need to act. People still see bamboo as just props people put in during the construction. And then even after that, they don't even know what to do with it. They dump it somewhere. But that is very good biomass that can be used to fire factories, boilers, and all of that. So we are taking the opportunity to educate the general public, to educate politicians, policymakers, business people, private sector, and the young ones that the time to get into bamboo is now. We need to develop options from bamboo and make it viable.
What is the call to action on World Bamboo Day? You want people to plant it?
Yes.
What else?
We want to plant it. We want to use it. We want people to take bamboo as an option when they get to the shelf. When you see bamboo toothpicks, when you see rubber toothpicks, take the bamboo, because the rubber has an effect on the environment. It's not biodegradable. So take the bamboo and let's promote the industry.
Let me go on to how you intend to celebrate World Bamboo Day. Walk us through what you intend to do.
So on that day, it's going to be a very sunny day, even though it's not that day yet. It's going to be a very sunny day. It's going to be a nice day. So we're going to have a seminar on the University of Ghana campus at the Athletic Oval. We're going to have politicians. We're going to have policymakers. Everybody come to the table together with students to talk about bamboo. What kind of transformational agenda can we put in place that can be pushed by the government and create an enabling environment for people to invest in bamboo? There may be people who are thinking, how can I get into this? How can I support? When you come that day, we'll take you through what is available, the information that is available, the opportunities. Then you can take your place in it. It's for all of us. It's a big space. So we need people to come on board.
We'll be talking shortly about skill, but let me find out, how did you get into this? Walk us through your background and how you got into this.
Okay. So I was happy when you mentioned cocoa. I have been in the cocoa industry for 18 years, working with about 35 top cocoa and chocolate companies. Bamboo came in when a very good friend of mine, asked me to accompany him to a couple of programs. I saw the potential, and I'm a mathematician too, so I put the paper to pen, started putting figures together, and I was wowed by it. It was a very good industry, untapped. And I've been fighting deforestation through my programs, my work, my advocacy over the years. And I think bamboo gave me all the answers that I needed. So we needed to team up with others and then see what is available and how we can transform the industry. I also realized that Ghana has been doing some things, especially with the Chinese, and then it was not at the scale that could cause that transformation that we wanted. So we had to put ourselves in and get on board, get onto the ground, and try to help with this transformational agenda to get people to know what bamboo can do.
What would you consider success?
Success is to see success is to see that Ghana is tapping into the $100 billion revenue that is bamboo is generating. We want to do at least 10 billion. That would be something. We are currently doing less than 1 million, but we want to see 10 billion. And it's something we can easily do, transform this within the next 5 years.
Is there any African country that is doing it that you are impressed with? Are there any countries in Africa that are ahead of us in the bamboo space?
Currently, no. But when I look back and see how Nigeria, Ethiopia, Uganda, Mozambique are coming, I'm afraid for us. That's why I have to. Yes, we have to do.
What are they doing? What are they doing that is catching your attention?
So in Uganda, for instance, bamboo is the main species they are using for restoration. Of course, they have a lot of forests, natural forests, but they are using bamboo for restoration and looking at bamboo so that they don't even touch the natural forests they have. We have destroyed a lot, but they have seen what we have done, so they don't want to get there. Nigeria has a lot of natural bamboo resources. They have about 1.7 million hectares. We have about 0.6 million hectares. So Nigeria is trying to consume it. They are trying to look at it rather than the timber resources that they have. Ethiopia is the love of the bamboo industry in Ghana now because they have the land, they have the areas, and they are getting into large-scale plantations. Mozambique is getting in big with construction, replacing or looking at the sustainable construction industry using bamboo. So they are doing a lot. So we have a bit of all of them. And I think as the gateway to Africa, we need to stand up now.
Are we still? This is Springboard Venture University. My guest, Vincent Awotwe-Pratt. And today we are having a special conversation that is, guess what? Talking about the potential in bamboo. If you've been following this conversation about exploring untapped resources and opportunities, it is a deliberate attempt to, for each single show, take one angle of our lives that we have not paid enough attention to and say, look again, that could be it. And I know some of you have been religiously accumulating episode after episode and looking at what is in there that we have overlooked. But the whole idea behind this is to say that growing up, Vincent, everyone wanted to pursue a particular career path. We all face a situation where many people, young people, grew up thinking, well, I must become a doctor, a lawyer, once in a while, architects, pilots, and a few other professions that were deemed to be the one. And while these are very lucrative, fulfilling career options, not everyone can do that. And there are not enough opportunities for all young people in those spaces and helping to the other areas of need. So the more people became aware of other options, the more comfortable they became to say, when I grow up, I will do this. Interestingly, agribusiness, agriculture, and all the opportunities in it were never featured in these conversations. Today, as a result of engagements like this over the years, we have a much better situation now in terms of young people being able to say, I'll go into entrepreneurship, I'll do my own business, I'll have a large farm, I will do something in these spaces than it was when we were younger. So this program is about exploring untapped opportunities for young people to know, oh, we don't all need to go and line up, write our CVs and go and line up at this particular place. There are areas we are not looking at that we could be looking at again. So this series has been exploring untapped or underutilized opportunities. When you are doing 1 million instead of 10 billion, it's underutilized.
Yes.
So let's talk about employment. Could bamboo also support the effort at employing Africa's, or by extension, Ghana's young people?
Yes, and the potential is big. Currently, in China, the 35 million people are supported by the industry, processing bamboo, transporting, making final products from bamboo. By extension to Ghana, we can project that about 1 million people can be employed in that industry if we take it from the processing, cultivating, processing, and the export side. And we're looking at the young people to take that opportunity. In the areas where we work, we've seen women who just take the cutlass, get into the bamboo plantation, fell one or two of them, split them, and then can produce skewers that they sell to the restaurants, to the sports and all of that. And then they make money out of it that they use to support the family by encouraging them to go a little bit up what they are currently doing, using a little bit of machines.
You ask about, can technology enable this to become much more productive?
Technology will take it to the next level. And that is what we are looking out now, because we see groups of women who come together and with the cutlass, what they can do. So we're thinking, if you get them a cutter, if you get them a flattener, if you get them a splitter, which should be less than $20,000, you can set about 35 women up. The income is going to go up. They can make about $200,000 a year by producing these basic things: skewers, toothpick, and then other smaller products that can be used in their household.
And that sounds like good money.
Very good money.
This is Springboard, your virtual university. And on the note of that very good amount of money mentioned by Vincent Awotwe-Pratt, I'll give you a break to allow you to digest the prospect of $200,000 being shared among 35 women who are attempting to explore the business of bamboo. And that's our subject for today as we celebrate World Bamboo Day and look at, is it a possible giant that we have ignored in our economic developmental conversation? So call somebody, tell the person who knows that might be the next frontier for generating income and profit for your business. Springboard is brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation, the enterprise group empowered by the Ghana Growth Program that focuses on opportunities in agriculture, agribusiness, and ATVET. It's a collaboration between Mastercard Foundation and the Springboard Roadshow Foundation. Think about it. Have you explored the opportunities we are discussing, or you are listening and doing nothing about them? When I come back from the break, I will tell you about a group of Ghanaian exporters in the cousin of bamboo that went to the US and their experience with the business conglomerates that they met when they went there. It's a beautiful story that will give you massive lessons, and I'll ask Vincent for his take on that. But let me give you the enterprise advantage tip for today. And the question for the day is, can I buy motor insurance for 3 months? And the answer is very simple. You can buy for as short as 1 month. That means you can insure a car for just a month, and as long as 12 months at a go. Per the pricing guidelines, buying motor insurance for shorter periods is obviously more expensive than if you bought it for a whole year. So that is just for you to do that. You can actually go to the insurance company and buy insurance for a vehicle for 1 month. So if you are outside the country, you come to town and you are spending only 1 month, you can buy insurance for 1 month and then park the vehicle and go back. This tip is brought to you by the Enterprise Group. The number to call 030-263-4777. Email info@myenterprisegroup.io. Enterprise is definitely your advantage. Let's go for a break. When we come back, what was the experience of my friends who traveled to the United States with the cousin of bamboo? Please don't go away.
Whether it's 1924, 2024, or 2124, we've always known that you are driven by your sense of safety and well-being. It is what drives us to see you through from start to finish, from small to big. And in the last 100 years, as you have evolved, so have we also expanded to serve you in many ways. From cradle to grave, with expertise in insurance, life, pensions, properties, health, and for those beautiful, memorable goodbyes. It's 2024, and in all our markets, our pedigree is recognized, our strength respected, our expertise valued, and our solutions sought by all who desire an advantage in life. Experience the time-tested and truly trusted 100 years legacy of Ghana's oldest insurer. Take charge of your future now. Insurance, life, pensions, property management, funeral services, health insurance. Enterprise for your advantage.
This be me, Kobe, aka Kobe Boga, KB for short. And this is my sweetheart, Obahima. Today, I get big surprise for her. Charlie, gone are the days I couldn't spoil my girl. Now I'm engaged to the woman of my dreams. Don't just look at my success. To get here, I had to follow the process. Out of nowhere, I lost my job. But I believe in humble beginnings. I got an idea that I knew I could grow. I started from a small setup, then invested in growing my own coconuts. I then grew my product lines. Now, I sell to many supermarkets in the country. Fellow young Ghanaians, trust the process and keep hope alive.
Take advantage of agri-business through the Ghana Grows program. Ghana Grows, Hope Day.
I'm Tuchi Voe, the CEO of the Ghana Commodity Exchange, but so much more than that. I invite you to join Springboard Virtual University. Let's make a date.
Hi, this is Taka Awori. Keep listening to Springboard Virtual University.
Hi everyone, my name is Charlotte Osei. This is Springboard, your virtual university.
Welcome back to Springboard, your virtual university, and to this incredible conversation about the business of bamboo. I guess you never considered bamboo as a potential business to go into. If you've been taking notes in all these sessions, you probably will have maybe 15 different ideas that you should be considering if you are planning to go into business and want to look at untapped or under-tapped, if I may use that word, opportunities, underutilized opportunities. And so we are exploring untapped opportunities and resources or underutilized resources. And if you've been following us, you probably have a list by now of areas you want to consider. My guest is Vincent Awotwe-Pratt. He's into green solutions and also a bamboo enthusiast. And he's saying, why haven't we looked at bamboo? So he's leading the charge for the celebration of World Bamboo Day that falls on the 18th of September. In fact, the whole month is dedicated to bamboo. And he's saying, this month, let's talk about bamboo and let's see what can be done with bamboo. Vincent, let me go to bamboo shoots on the plate. When I go to a Chinese restaurant, I see bamboo shoots as part of the menu.
Yeah.
Is bamboo edible?
Yes. The young shoots are edible, even though the local varieties we have or the local species we have hasn't been tested. People say all the shoots are, but I'm very sure that the varieties we find in China, in Indonesia, and other places are edible. And in Ghana now, we have those species that are growing here. So people are looking for it. People ask, can you produce the shoots for us? And surprisingly, Ghanaians would want to try it. When they see bamboo, that's the first thing they ask. Can we eat bamboo? And I say, yes, but not this species.
How much research is needed to trigger this kind of mass engagement in bamboo that you are championing? How much research is required for us to be able to make this migration?
We had a lot of support from the International Network for Bamboo and Rattan in the past, and also the government of Ghana put in some resources. And that was about 10 years ago. But the industry is very dynamic. We need to continue research and all of that. We haven't had such in the recent future. We haven't done such research, so we are lacking behind. One thing too we haven't done is to see what bamboo can do in terms of our GDP. How much bamboo contributes to the GDP. In recent times, you've seen the finance ministry doing climate change, finance, and all of that. But I think it's time for us to include bamboo. When we do that, we can also know the potential. Now, in terms of the uses, in terms of propagation, treatment, and all of that, I know some of the government research institutions are doing some work. Some of us NGOs are also doing some work, but it's not at the scale that we want. We need more money. We need more people to get into the space, students carrying out projects, research work in bamboo, so we can know exactly how much gold we have in terms of bamboo.
Interesting you mentioned this because I had a recent conversation with somebody from the Netherlands who mentioned the intentionality, the amount of resources invested in research just to ensure that they get it right in the agricultural spaces and projects that they are trying to undertake. And I think that the call you are making is the right one, that we have students doing their theses, organizations funded to just do that in particular, among other things, so that we can take giant steps based on well-researched opportunities. But you mentioned an association of bamboo and rattan. What's the name again?
It's an intergovernmental organization championed by the Chinese government. In Ghana, we are lucky to host the West and Central Africa office, located close to the Forestry Commission, and they are the lead organization when it comes to bamboo. They are able to source a lot of funding from abroad, from multilateral companies and organizations, and then they support bamboo development in Ghana.
The location and the name and the mention of rattan reminds me of about 30 years ago. So I used, in my first business venture after university, started university, but I was heavily involved in the rattan industry, producing wall hangings with my friend Michael Mensah, who now hosts the relationship program on Sunny FM. And we ran a company called Kobe and Kobe that used to do a lot of wall hangings and framed inscriptions. And it was very, very interesting that the uptake was very, very high. I mean, people were consuming rattan furniture, people were going more and more. So that's how come all this Switchback Road, 37, the behind the Ghana Registeredness Association, enclaves began to develop that way, using rattan. And rattan is like a twin of bamboo.
Yes.
Massively. And then so friends of mine, sponsored by the Ghana Export Promotion Council, undertook a journey to the United States of America to go and meet potential importers. And when they went, they actually met the biggest of the big. I mean, US has these store chains, that the Walmarts and so on, the CS and Roebuck. They have 20,000 shops. So my friends got there with the delegation, and they were very excited because they met big buyers. I hear in the first conversation, when they sat down and showed them the samples, the guy said, brilliant. So sample 3B, for instance, if you want like 60,000 copies, 40,000 copies, how soon can we get it? I mean, the guy is literally almost fainted. Did you say 40,000? Charlie, the guy is behind GRNU. Why 300? That's the biggest order he has received in his lifetime. And apparently the business model then was to have about 2 samples in each shop, physical. It was online shopping had not grown to the extent that it is now. So it was 2 samples per physical shop and then backups in the warehouse. So the shop has 20,000 outlets, 40,000 in the shops before backup. So let's say even 60,000.
Yes.
I mean, the guys were totally shocked. And the guys, the buyers were asking them, don't you like the order? You can increase it. I mean, he said, listen, you want to kill us. So after asking a number of questions, they asked them about financing, they asked them about cooperatives, can't you come together and produce it? And the guys were still looking at them in shock. And then they asked the critical question: how many hectares of rattan do you have planted in Ghana? And they said, oh, it grows in the wild in the Western North region, at that time Western region. And then they cut it and put on the train. And when it gets to the train station, Cocoa Board area, we go and literally the first to get there buys as much as you like, the next person, and then in a short time it's finished. And that is the volume of rattan raw material that we have in the country. Vincent, end of conversation. Sales volume, millions of dollars at stake. Capacity, nil.
Yeah.
Not even minimal, nil. I mean, and the guys came back broken, excited about what was possible, but broken because they had no power to even respond. So let's talk about capacity. Let's talk about policy. Let's talk about intentionality, Vincent. If what you are saying can become a reality, how do we resolve the issues that my friend, I don't want to mention his name because I teased him about this for several years. Like, hey, my brother, you went to US, right? Came back and 200. But How do you resolve the issue of capacity in the value chain right from the plantation side all the way to technology and everything to the export?
So capacity, just as you have said, would run through everything, looking at the policy side, where we have to be intentional in making sure that bamboo is a priority, and also rattan, of course, because we don't have plantations of rattan. Is a policy, and the government is investing money in it. In recent times, there was a master plan for the forestry sector, plantations development, and bamboo is part of it. That has attracted some private sector companies to come in to try to establish bamboo plantations in Ghana. We've also seen in recent times that the Plantation Development Fund has now included bamboo. So if you're a private person and you have land and you want to grow bamboo as a plantation, you can tap into that. They can give you a grant and a loan, one of them, to set up a plantation, and then you can access the market.
Please show me where to go. Which organization is that?
Yes, it's under the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources,
Okay.
Plantation Development Fund.
So I can check out their website.
Yes, you can check it out, and then you can apply, and then you can get some funding. Nevertheless, we should also look at a way to beef it up more in it, because I think it's currently very small, a small part of the fund that is supporting it. But we should look at bigger plantations. We have a lot of degraded areas within our forest reserves, which we can use for bamboo plantations and then feed the market. At the educational level, we've seen some architecture schools, or schools that offer architecture courses, looking to challenge their students to try designing infrastructure with bamboo. But it's still very rudimental, because people are thinking about the big natural museum of art, of science, big architecture. But looking at it, that bamboo can also do part of this. We've seen a lot of examples elsewhere. We want to also encourage the people who, like the timber merchants, to also look at bamboo and see if they can plant more bamboo, or plant bamboo as part of their afforestation programs.
So as I'm seeing Forest Plantation Development Fund.
Yes.
That's the one.
Yes.
Because the website is fpdf.gov.gh. Forest Plantation Development Fund.
Yes.
Yes. FPDF.
Yes. And also, we can also look at other initiatives. You have the ARF 100, which is a commitment that the government of Ghana has done to reforest a lot of areas, about 100 million plantings within a particular time, that we can take advantage of. In recent times, we've also realized that bamboo is a very good carbon sequester. It can sequester carbon. So if you have land, you can plant bamboo and you get into one of the programs, voluntary carbon schemes. There are a lot of carbon schemes around, and then you can take advantage of it. We are currently looking at how to get a lot more public education on bamboo, and then get the other sectors to understand. For example, if government is giving contracts out for the construction of schools, for the construction of hospitals, what components can we put in terms of bamboo to lessen the burden of extracting a lot of wood, which is also expensive, but to look at bamboo as a viable option. And for NGOs, we are always around. We are offering support to the communities. We need funding. It's become scarce after COVID. I don't know what COVID did to the funding, but I think funding will be good to support us to get the message wide and sustain it over a long period of time.
I was talking to some young people on the occasion of International Youth Day, and one of them made a very, very, very interesting point, that you can be in this country and tell yourself that there's no opportunity, and you are right. But you can be in the same country and ask yourself, where is the opportunity? And depending on where you look and the questions you ask and the company you hang around, you may find limitless opportunities. Which school of thought do you belong to?
I belong to the school that says that there are a lot of opportunities. Actually, I get overwhelmed when I see a lot of these things, because aside bamboo, there are a lot of stuff that you can do. Bamboo is already too big. I told my colleagues back in the office that we can't do this. We can't develop the sector. We need people. We need more than Ghanaians. We need everybody. If everybody in Ghana comes on board, we can all make millions, and then we still be, we will call ourselves the millionaires country, because the opportunities are big. So it's good to look and then look very well. Don't look with the intention of finding cooked food or already made opportunities. The raw ones are usually the best.
Give them 2-3 things that they can do immediately that can help the individual. I'll come to governments, but let's start with the individual. Give me a couple of things that any individual listening could do right away that will give them a better understanding. Somebody is saying, Charlie, if this thing is that good, why am I here? What should they do? Vincent?
The first one I'll say is for them to think. They need to think and then look for resources to inform their thinking. YouTube is there. There's a lot. You may not find specific to Ghana, but you can see on China, other Asian countries, in the Netherlands, in the European Union, in America. Look for information and then look at what you can do. Take charge and then act.
From the perspective of policymakers, what should they do differently?
They need to create the environment, the conducive environment for bamboo development. A lot of things have been done.
What should change in your
policy?
opinion? Which aspect of it?
What
would you like to see different?
We need an intentional policy on bamboo development. And just as the Forest Plantation Development Fund has been established, we need a bamboo development fund, which is something we as advocates for biodiversity conservation, we are advocating for, that we need a fund that will be intentional and that will target bamboo. The guys we see on Switchback Road, they are still there with a small knife, and then
it will not attract my
nothing.
Young people from Legon.
Nothing. Even they don't have anything covering them. The Chinese government supported Ghana to build a center for them at Ayimensa. It's deserted because the market is at Switchback Road. You find the Embassy Gardens there. They are the ones they are targeting now. But we need to make sure that these people, wherever they are, they can be supported. They are the machines they use, the support they need, anything they need that can grow their industry, so that they move from just doing one thing at a time to producing a lot at a time. The market is there.
What would it take to get one? Because I found out in our Ghana Growth program, the effort at getting young people to consider careers in agriculture and ATVET, that when you show them one person doing well, it does better than telling them 100 stories and 100 arguments.
Yes.
When you say, listen, this person is doing this and that, and especially the person is relatively younger, they're like, if this person is doing it, I can do it.
Yes.
So when I bring, let's say, Mildred Akotia, who is doing cashew, into the studio, fantastic, relatively young woman, educated, and she's doing cashew processing and exporting. It breaks more barriers than anything I say about the opportunities in the space.
Yes.
When do you hope that we can bring somebody to the studio with you who has done something big with bamboo in Ghana, that we can say, there you go, you told you this.
Yes.
And here we are.
Yes.
In your dreams, in your prayers.
Yes.
When do you think that we can see something like that? Is there anything that has started anywhere that you can say, that's a good start?
Yes, a lot. But they are still on the very lower scale. They are not there yet, not even medium scale. We have a lot. We have bags, people who are doing bags, very nice bags. We can show their quality bags that can compete in the stores abroad or even in Ghana. We know people who have started plantations and are producing fertilizer from bamboo.
Oh, fertilizer?
Yes. They call it biochar. They char it, and then they can make a soil amendment, bamboo vinegar, and then a lot. There are people there, and I know they are watching me, and then they'll be happy I'm telling their story.
Yeah.
But these are still the minority who need help, and then who need to tell their stories, as you've said, and then for the world to appreciate what they are doing.
There's I remember there was a time when somebody did a bamboo bicycle that got quite some traction on various media platforms.
Yeah.
But the big question that anyone who has a business eye would ask is about skill. If that bicycle was nice and somebody said, can we get 10,000 copies of the bike? The same thing will happen that happened to my friends that went to the US with their samples.
Unfortunately not, because she's somebody I know. I've been on the same platform with her. She has skilled up and she's shown us that it's possible. She produces more, even though it's not the very large scale, but at least she can meet the...
Use this platform to
format.
mention it so that we can at least give her a boost.
Yes, she's Venice Dapa, based in Kumasi. In recent times, she's been recognized by the Dortmund City. This year, she was invited to a bamboo expo in Dortmund, where she showed how her work is supporting girls, her work is supporting the local communities to thrive. And she produces world-class bamboos. It's very common when you go to the Netherlands, you see.
So Benis's GhanaBambooBikes.org.
Yes.
GhanaBambooBikes.org. So go find Benis Dapa's site and check out what she's doing. But Vincent, I think that the next phase of this conversation will be to begin to aggregate people who are doing things in different parts of the value chain and then broaden the conversation. Let's sign off on what you expect in terms of the World Bamboo Day. Now that we've used this significant platform to throw light on the World Bamboo Day, beyond governments, beyond individuals, what will be your call to action for everyone as we celebrate World Bamboo Day?
Yes, before I go to that, I would want to say thank you for the opportunity. Thank you to your sponsors for making this platform available. When we first thought about it, I couldn't imagine how big it was going to be. But I think it's bigger than myself now. It's going to all the corners of the earth. Thank you so much. I think World Bamboo Day is an opportunity for us to learn more about this opportunity, what bamboo can do, what bamboo can help in terms of job creation, economic empowerment, and also saving our environment. I would want to urge everybody to be there. It's at the University of Ghana campus on the 18th of September. Come meet all kind of people who are producing bamboo, people who want to use bamboo to solve household problems, industrial problems, and everybody.
So Wednesday time?
It's 12 o'clock.
12 noon. Okay, so which part of Lagos?
The Athletic Oval.
All right.
Yes.
So it's a very
we intentionally got a bigger place so that when
we
the
shall
members
come with our bamboo plants, holding them, we carry them in our cars and bring them. But Vincent, thank you very much for throwing light on this. And for us here at Springboard, it's a bigger vision to counteract the notion that says there's no hope, there's no direction, there's no opportunity. So anytime we find opportunity, we are very happy to amplify it and then bring answers to the questions that people may have about any aspect of our lives. And one thing you've done is demystify bamboo to us and given us a lot of things to think about. I hope that next time you come for this conversation, we'll be having not just the insight into what bamboo can do, but really examples of people who have done it that we want to showcase. That way, the uptake will be even faster and we can get the next World Bamboo Day or the next one to be even much more of a big celebration. So thank you very much for coming.
Thank you too.
Right. This has been Springboard, your virtual university, brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation and proudly sponsored by the Enterprise Group and the Ghana Growth Program, our big partner, which is a collaboration between Mastercard Foundation and the Springboard Roadshow Foundation. Let me just mention that if you have a question about opportunities in the agribusiness space, don't sit down and fold your arms and say, I don't know where to go. The Ghana Growth hotline or the Ghana Growth call center is the place to go to for direction. And let me give you the number that you can call. The number is 030-8255-775. 030-8255-775. Call or WhatsApp that number and you'll find out more about where to find Vincent, where to find help. We are aggregating all the solutions that we are exploring across this country just so that any young person who requires assistance can take the number and just call or WhatsApp, and they can get some direction, some basic direction, and they can build on from there. Also, if you're required to talk to a clinical psychologist, there are issues you'd like to be supported with, that same number is the number to call or WhatsApp, and you will receive some help. Vincent, you've made me even more confident about opportunities we haven't looked at in the agribusiness space. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Well, so till we come away again next week, my name is Albert Ocran saying God bless you, and happy Bamboo Day.
Turning point, yeah.
He's a turnaround.